So you're thinking of moving to Solana Beach, California. You want to know more about what's going on here, what happens, what's it like as a bachelor, bachelorette, raising kids, or you're just retiring and checking out this area as a possibility. Not that many people know about Solana Beach, mainly just because it's so small here in San Diego County. So in this video, we're digging a little deeper. We'll cruise around a little bit in my car, just pointing out everything that I've experienced while living here a couple different times in my life. When I was younger, going to college, working as a valet at one of the local restaurants, and then later on when I actually had a family, had kids in elementary school, and I'll give you all that info. If this is your first time to the channel and you want to learn what it's like to work, eat, sleep, play, live in places like Solana Beach here in San Diego, definitely hit that subscribe button, tap that bell so you're notified each time we come out with a new video. My name's Jeremiah. The team and I, we're getting phone calls, text messages, emails every day from people just like you, inquiring, researching, curious about certain areas and what's going on here in the county. So definitely reach out to us so we can help you with that smooth move to San Diego. But let's get right after it. Right now, I am right above Fletcher Cove. So part of the grass is right behind me. Got the community center right above me here, and then of course the beach out to the west. And here, I'll walk right over here so you can get a better view of that. But really cool area. Spent a lot of time here, not only surfing, not only hanging out here as into my early 20s, but also bringing my kids over to the playground at I forget when it is. I think it's June or July. That's when they have the triathlon that is back on here in Solana Beach. Started doing that with actually as a team with both my father and father-in-law, and then transitioned to doing solo triathlons. Got my wife into it. So a lot had started right here for us as a family, as a couple, and just workouts and a ton of fun right here at Fletcher Cove. In the summer, concerts in the park, just a really unique area that's accessible not only to the beach, the sand, and all that fun, but also one of the things that Solana Beach is just so incredible for, right beyond the beach, is are we going to call it like a mini downtown or mini strip? It's kind of a combination of two really cool things. You have the Cedros Design District, so a bunch of really unique shops that there's plenty to choose from as far as decor, as far as specialty items. They have the farmers market on the weekend. There's art. There's just a bunch of really cool, unique stuff going on there. And then intermixed on Cedros and all around the Coast Boulevard running right over here, you're just going to have a ton of restaurants. So, I've enjoyed going for beer and pizza over at Pizza Port. We love Bangkok Thai food. There's sushi. I mean, you name it, it's on the strip right here. So, and again, this isn't a massive strip. We're talking about probably 2 miles max from the southern point of Solana Beach all the way up to the northern point. There's even an extended sidewalk that is partitioned even further away from the Coast Boulevard, where our kids learned how to ride their bikes there. It's a good 2-mile stretch, pretty straight. You're not terribly concerned about your kids, going off into traffic, because they do have some hedges there, but just enough to be dangerous, just so they stay focused. But yeah, just a really cool area, and we've done a ton of stuff, from walking that strip to biking it, when we're not with the kids, to when they got better, biking it together as a family. So just a really cool area there. But starting on the south side, and really in general with a lot of these little beach towns in San Diego County, they're separated by these lagoons. So for example, the river mouth and the lagoon between Solana Beach and Del Mar, that's also where the Del Mar Fairgrounds are. That's where the racetrack is. If you looked at an aerial of this, you can see Dog Beach and the river mouth coming through the Del Mar Fairgrounds. And then once you look at the hillside, you're either looking at the hillside of Del Mar to the south, or you're looking at Solana Beach. And on the flip side, up on the northern end, it's the same type of deal. It's not drastic drops in terrain, but it's enough climbing up from these lagoons that it really defines where Solana Beach is. And on the north side, we have the San Alejo Lagoon that's separating Solana from Cardiff. So really, like I said, really neat area. Actually, I think I just saw a dolphin out there in the ocean. But that's what you have going on right here by the Coast Boulevard. It's one of the few places that I'll actually say that has pretty good mass transit, because we have the train station where the coaster is making the stops, Amtrak makes their stops. There are buses that do stop there, but San Diego as a whole, you've probably seen from some of my other videos, just has such horrible mass transit that it's not even worth attempting to use. But Solana Beach does have access to more stops than most. So that's really cool there. Heading further inland, and we do have some hills. Trust me, if you run them or bike them, you learn that they exist quickly. And as you head west, we're running into the Boys and Girls Club, which has a phenomenal public pool that's awesome for swimming in and doing laps. Even to this day, my kids have competitions there with their swim team. Beyond there with Earl Warren Middle School. And what feeds into that's part of the Earl Warren Middle School, is part of the San Diego main high school district. But our kids actually went to Skyline. It's one of 2 elementary schools, and Solana Vista's on the other side of the freeway. Skyline's on the west side. It also has a bilingual sector to it as well. But you'll have to check out one of our other videos for going deeper into different schools and bilingual schools and those options. But everything's really easy to get to, like I said, because it is so small. There's 2 main grocery areas that are located in the heart of Solana Beach where you can be shopping, and one to the west of the freeway, that's where you have Dixie Line. It's a lumber and hardware store. And then you have the CVS's, you have the other strip mall type restaurants, everything you would expect with an additional grocery store called Sprouts. So a lot of good stuff there. And then right on the other side of the freeway, you also have another Vons, my wife's favorite, Home Goods, and just more strip mall type. That's what I call it, because that's what it is. Let's not glorify anything. There are some unique, smaller restaurants that are definitely worth checking out. There's a couple of cool sushi places, especially over on that east side of the freeway. But I got to talk about weather for a second, because I've overstated how it is living by the beach here in San Diego. But I'll tell you, there's something really cool about the microclimate on the east side of the freeway here in Solana Beach. It has to be one of the most mellow, just relaxing. The sun burns the clouds off sooner. It doesn't overheat. When we lived there, we never used our AC. It was crazy. And everywhere else that I've lived, when you live anytime east of the freeway, you use your AC. So there's something going on with the terrain. I don't know. I mean, it doesn't help cell phone signals, because I know cell phone coverage is kind of crappy over to the east. But everything else, as far as weather-wise, was absolutely ridiculous. Now that's where, like I said, the other elementary school is, but also the Loma Santa Fe Country Club golf course. Great club over there. We enjoyed being members. That's where our kids started swimming. but they have their tennis courts, phenomenal golf course. They also actually have a public executive course right down the street as well. But just a really neat location, and quite frankly, I'm just surprised everything is crammed into this small little city, because it's a great course and provides a lot for, again, a small footprint on where we're at here in Solana Beach. And as long as I'm pointing out all the killer things, it's a lot of it has to do with when we lived here, what is not only here in the city, but just a stone's throw from the city. For example, on the east side of the freeway, when we were there, you have Rancho Santa Fe and you have Del Mar that are bordering, but you can literally, within 60 seconds, within 90 seconds of driving, you're leaving Solana Beach and then you're over at the San Dieguito Park, which is just this incredibly large park. Looks like the lifeguards are testing out their horns. Incredibly large park. My mom took my brother and I there when we were kids. You feel like you're in a whole nother world and you're minutes from the ocean. That's within steps of Solana Beach. On the flip side, like I said, you have the Del Mar Fairgrounds that are just to the south, and all of their shopping and all of their boutiques. And as a kid, there used to be even a movie theater down there. So I mean, it's Solana Beach is one of those unique little cities that happens to be by the ocean that you kind of never really need to leave. And with Amazon, that makes it even easier, right? But it is really really unique with its full comprehensive element of having just about everything that you need to purchase, that you can be involved in. I mean, there's karate and taekwondo, and I think there was another MMA martial arts center, all within this area. So yeah, really unique. There was some stuff that I wasn't involved in as much, and one of those was definitely skateboarding. I learned how to surf because it doesn't hurt as much when you fall in water, but for those that love to skate, and of course, my kids had a bunch of friends that were into skateboarding. I believe Tony Hawk helped create this little skate park that is just on the west side of the freeway, but tucked over by La Colonia Park, right behind the battle of the two Mexican food restaurants. Whole nother story, but I love Fidel's, other people like Tony's. It's really odd how these restaurants have been there for years, and it's you either belong to one or the other, but cool skateboarding area over there. Again, another park that a lot of events are held at, and that's been neat to take the kids over to. Aside from that, for the adults, you're really heading back to the Coast Boulevard. And my wife and I have enjoyed so many different shows over at the Belly Up. It's the Belly Up Tavern. It's surrounded by a bunch of cool restaurants right down there in the Cedros Design District. It's wild how many big names they've either had there before they were popular, or have just been able to bring them in. And this is how much, trying to estimate how many people they hold, but we're talking about under 1,000 people. I mean, this is a dinky, tiny venue, and they get some really great stuff in there. I mean, everything from main concerts that are standing room only to we learned how to salsa dance and merengue on certain nights of the week when we were dating. So just a lot of cool stuff, and again, it's just minutes away from wherever you're living here in Solana Beach. The last thing I want to point out is just to the north side of the city. We actually didn't learn about it. It kind of feels silly when you live in an area and don't know a lot about something that you've driven by a million times by the freeway. But there's a really cool hiking trail, not terribly long, called Annie's Canyon. It's located right off the lagoon. It's a slot canyon, and I did another video on it when I was there, but I mean, you are wedging yourself right through at one point while climbing. If you're claustrophobic, it's a little spooky, but a really cool hike. Kids actually, you know, they made it through, and they actually loved it more than some other adults I saw panicking. So it's really killer once you get to the top. A cool view of the lagoon out to Cardiff, all the way up to the north. But definitely a must check out. If you're watching this and you live here and you don't know about it, check it out. If you do, and then you think I'm crazy for only having learned about it, you know, a couple years back, and well, there you go. I mean, I'll let you hold on to that thought. But again, if this was helpful, definitely hit that subscribe button, tap that bell, check out some of our other videos. Look forward to chatting with you guys soon. Adios.